He was utterly terrified the first time he met his future son-in-law.
Fucking Flemings are in the house! Yes!
The future son-in-law's first words were full of swear words, leaving the old man completely stunned. But that was just the appetizer. What he truly couldn't accept was his unique way of welcoming them.
Right. Oh, yes. Yes. So glad you're here.
The old man had enough, saying he could stay at most half an hour. His daughter reminded her boyfriend to put on proper clothes, but the boyfriend said he had prepared a surprise.
Ta-da!
To show his sincerity, Lyle actually got a tattoo of his girlfriend's entire family on his back, based on a photo from a greeting card. He even included the family dog. Ned's frown deepened. He couldn't understand why his daughter, a top student, about to graduate from a prestigious university, would choose such a brute. However, despite his outrageous behavior, Lyle was undeniably extremely wealthy. Hearing that Ned loved bowling, he directly built 2 professional lanes in his house. He even painted portraits of Ned and his son, and for his art-loving future mother-in-law, he filled the house with various high-end artworks. But the goodwill he had just built up was instantly ruined by his foul mouth.
Well, I'll take a compliment wherever I can get one.
Well, here's another one. You got a banging bod, too.
Ned was completely broken. He immediately asked to speak with his daughter alone. He thought Lyle was too frivolous, covered in tattoos, cursing constantly, and even 10 years older than his daughter. Besides being rich, he had no redeeming qualities. His daughter begged her father to set aside his prejudice and spend more time getting to know Lyle's good side. Finney hoped her father could stay through Christmas and give Lyle more time. Seeing the pleading look in his daughter's eyes, Ned's heart softened, and he ultimately agreed. At dinner, seeing his daughter and her boyfriend looking affectionate, a slight smile finally broke through Ned's tense expression. He couldn't help but ask how they met. Lyle was completely open about it, admitting he started his business right after high school and only began looking for true love after his company took off. At a party one day, Lyle fell for the beautiful and intelligent Finney at first sight. He even pretended to be poor to get close to her, speaking with deep emotion. This foul-mouthed young man's eyes suddenly became gentle and attentive as he listed every one of his girlfriend's preferences. But his honesty backfired when Lyle excitedly mentioned that they became official on their 3rd date and spent Valentine's night together. The smile froze on Ned's lips. What made his pupils tremble even more was that they had already been living together for a full year. All this time, Finney had carefully kept the secret from him. She never expected Lyle to spill everything today. Ned was deeply upset. His daughter's former image as a sweet, obedient girl shattered completely in his heart. Even when trying to sleep that night, Ned couldn't let it go, complaining about Lyle in the bedroom. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Ned thought it was his daughter, but it was Lyle. It turned out that because of Lyle's loose tongue during the day, they had a big fight, so he came to apologize sincerely.
Ned, would you come join us? I'm good here.
You really mean a lot to me. Please.
Straightforward, Lyle not only admitted his fault honestly, saying he spouts all kinds of trash talk when he's nervous, but also opened up his heart, telling Ned and his wife about being abandoned by his father as a child, and his lack of guidance growing up. Finally, he solemnly promised to treat them as his own parents. Hearing about Lyle's difficult past, Ned and his wife felt more understanding. It really wasn't easy for him to have achieved all this through his own efforts. Seeing the elders' attitude soften, Lyle's joy was immediately visible. What caught them even more off guard was Lyle's next request. He wanted to join Ned for his morning workout. Ned reluctantly agreed. The next day, before the plan could even start, an unexpected incident struck first. Shortly after Ned entered the bathroom, he found himself trapped in an inescapably awkward situation. There was no toilet paper. He called for his wife to look in the hall, but she searched every corner without finding a single scrap. Fortunately, the butler heard the commotion and came, suggesting Ned press the button beside him for an automatic clean. So Ned reached out and pressed it, but the next second, it turned out he had selected the wrong gender setting. The butler had to step in to demonstrate. The two men looked at each other in the toilet. The situation became intensely awkward. Thanks to the butler's help, Ned finally escaped. Soon, Ned changed clothes and went to meet Lyle as agreed. But Lyle, breaking convention, took him directly to his private zoo. Lyle's wealth exceeded Ned's imagination. Before Ned could even process it, the butler suddenly appeared. Only when Lyle clapped and surrendered did the butler stop. Ned watched, utterly confused. The butler calmly explained Lyle wasn't comfortable with bodyguards following him, so they often practiced self-defense techniques. Having said that, the butler hurried off. Next, Lyle pulled Ned into the zoo's office. It turned out Lyle wanted to propose to Finney on Christmas, and he wanted his future father-in-law's permission and blessing. Ned said frankly that Finney was still young and hadn't finished her studies, and besides, he didn't know Lyle well enough yet to simply hand his daughter over. Hearing this, Lyle didn't back down. Instead, he begged Ned to give him a chance. He hoped to win the whole family's approval before Christmas, before formally proposing to Finney. This time, Ned didn't refuse, but right after returning home, Ned received received bad news. His printing press was facing serious financial deficits. At this rate, it would go bankrupt next month. Ned urgently had his staff contact all partners for help. What he didn't expect was that his entire phone call was recorded by Lyle's smart assistant. At the Christmas Eve party, Lyle had the atmosphere buzzing with excitement. Ned wasn't interested in these festivities, but never expected to meet the world's richest man while ordering a drink. Ned never imagined Lyle could invite such a prominent figure. These unusual connections quietly shifted Ned's perception of Lyle. After the party, Ned subtly asked his daughter why she fell in love with Lyle. Finney understood the subtext of her father's question and answered earnestly. Both Lyle and her father were genuinely good people. They just expressed it differently. Even though Lyle often spoke without filter, he had a good heart. His daughter's words made Ned decide to try to understand Lyle better. On Christmas Day, Ned and Lyle went to pick out a Christmas tree together. This ordinary task for most people held profound meaning for Lyle, who grew up without a father's love. Shedding his usual casual demeanor, he asked with a serious expression,
You ever get nervous about shifting tides?
Well, you know, every business has its ups and downs. It doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
These words were for Lyle, but also a silent encouragement Ned gave himself. Right after, Lyle spotted the Christmas tree he wanted. He had his eye on the tree in front of his rival company's entrance. Despite Ned trying desperately to stop him, Lyle insisted on having his way. He somehow got hold of a chainsaw and planned to just cut it down and take it home. But after fiddling with the chainsaw, Lyle couldn't even get it started. Ned was speechless. He stepped forward, took the chainsaw, gave the cord a casual pull, and the chainsaw roared to life. Lyle watched, dumbfounded, his eyes filled with shock and admiration. In Ned, he saw the father figure he had long missed, and Ned himself didn't realize it. But his natural, effortless instruction, and the simple act of taking the chainsaw, had already quietly broken through the wall of his initial prejudice. Then, the two returned home triumphant. The Christmas tree strapped to the car roof, upbeat music playing inside the car. The relationship between Ned and Lyle was quietly warming.